Hello, welcome to part 2 of this piano Pandemictivities look at Clair de Lune. We're going to start right here. And there are just really a couple of basic ideas that are important as we approach this part of the piece. The first idea is that you have to know this music as if it were a song. And what I mean by that is that if you are so busy navigating and struggling and hacking your way through this arpeggiated accompaniment that you don't notice the tune above, that you don't voice the soprano, that you don't phrase appropriately, then you're really missing out on the music. So you have to be able to hear it as though it were a song that you know. And in order to achieve this, sometimes I recommend that people fake book the music. And what I mean by that is to fake book is to pretend that this was written in fake book style, which is melody and chord symbols, in which case to fake book this we would have this A flat, and for this beat it would say D flat and then D flat, and then here we could do this enharmonically and we could say F flat, something like that, or we could actually just put E over G sharp if you want to do it enharmonically, and then here we're back to D flat, and then it does the same thing right there. And so what we get is, oh sorry, this one is F minor. I think I said D flat earlier. So what we have is D flat, F minor, E over G sharp, do the same thing again. Except this time the melody is different, and it's going to go on. So you actually need to be able to play this as though it were a simple song and it just had this easy tune and these easy chords. So let's say one finger in this hand and just some chords in this hand. And so on throughout the rest of the piece. And then, if it were an easy song that you could fake book, okay, how would you sing it? If you had to sell this on America's Most Amazing Humans, or whatever that stupid show is called, how would you sing it? Like, where would you crescendo? Where would the killer moment be? You know, so you would definitely be doing something like, I think this phrase, you know, is kind of the crescendo to nowhere. Debussy loves to do this with his repeated patterns. Here, more, and then start over. It's very subtle. And then this time, and that would be the big moment, right? So that's a first step that you should take if you find that you get lost in the sauce on these kind of accompaniments, which I find many students do. Many are so busy navigating the 16th notes that they don't hear the music. I'm going to take a sip of tea. You can just wait. There. See, I'm not even going to edit that out. It's my rude way of saying that my time is more valuable than yours. Sorry, everybody. Anyhow, all right, so, you know, presumably we would fake book this whole thing. You'd know how you would sing it. You know how you would play it if it were a simple song. Another way to imagine it is if you had a friend who was the ideal pianist, you know, this magnificent player who was always accurate and played with beautiful sound, and would follow you as a conductor no matter what you did. If you show a crescendo or a retard or whatever you do, this friend of yours will follow perfectly. So anything you decide to do as a conductor will actually happen. If that were the case, how would you make this music? How would you conduct? And if you don't know the answer to that, you don't have a concept of how the piece should sound. That's not to say don't play, don't make music. You know, we're all learning, and it's okay to work on music and try to play it not knowing everything. I mean, for crying out loud, music is for people to enjoy. Don't worry if you're not doing everything at a professional level, but it's something to strive for. Okay, so number one is to fake book the music and know it as a song. Okay, the second thing is just to deal with these arpeggios in that cross between the hands. And the way I play it, I do this first one in the left hand. I do 5, 3, 2, 1, like this. And then I take these other guys with the right hand. And then I go 3 notes, 3 notes, 3 notes. So there's no huge sweeping number of notes in the left hand. However, that might be a little bit large for someone. If it is, a couple things to consider. One is that, well, the piano as a whole is wider than anybody's reach. So nobody's reaching the whole thing, so don't bother trying to reach. In my case, even though I play 5, 3, 2, 1, notice where I am when I play 5. I'm here when I play this, here, this. So I'm never stretching and reaching for the 10th, ever. I can reach a 10th, sort of. Black to white is particularly terrible. But I would never do that playing this because I don't have to. This one comes here. A small hand could do this, and then this, and then this, and this. And if you need to let go of the A flat and do a little hop to there, that's fine because the pedal's down. So there's no reason to play finger legato. I'll say a little bit more about finger legato as we move along, which we shall do right now. Okay, so here we are on the second page, and now we actually have a big arpeggio that has to be taken with the left hand. And the way I typically do this, I go 5, 3, 2, 1, 4, right here, 2, 1, 2, 1, and then that's 2, 4, and I actually go to 1 here on the F, but you could also go to 5 if you want to. I might recommend that. And you could go back to 1 here. That would be fine. The other thing you could do is 5 there. But now you run out of fingers on the way down, so maybe it's not so great. Okay, what's not crucially important is any particular fingering. As long as it's reasonably sensible, as long as it's not like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 or something stupid, it's fine. Here is the main point. The main point is the false religion of finger legato. The heretical, deceptive, destructive, false religion, the pile of lies that is the finger legato tradition within piano teaching. And that is this idea. To get from here to here, I have to hang on to this F until I play this A flat, and in order to get to the A flat, I'm going to twist all the way around. Now, there are two things about this that are stupid, okay? Not just stupid, but stupid. Thing number one is that when the pedal is down, holding or not holding a note doesn't do anything. The damper is up. The pedal is holding the damper up. And so letting go of keys has no effect compared with hanging onto them. Okay? And so first of all, there's no reason to hang on to this. It doesn't do anything for you. And the problem it creates when you try to turn around and get to the A flat like this, the problem is now you're like this. All right? Now, I discovered something one day. Here is what I discovered. I discovered that playing the piano like this is really, really hard. And you know what I'm bad at, ladies and gentlemen? I'm bad at hard things. And you know what I'm good at, ladies and gentlemen? I'm good at easy things. And so one day I realized that I'm not going to do hard things at the piano because I'm bad at them. The same reason I don't try to learn to go running with my shoes tied together, because I'm never going to be good at it. And I don't go jumping in a track meet, the high jump or the long jump, with 6 bowling balls in a backpack, because I'm never going to be good at it. And I don't eat soup with chopsticks because I'm never going to be good at it. I don't practice things that are never going to work. And so I don't practice playing the piano twisted up because it's never going to work, even if we have 1,000 years to practice. So, and by the way, my nickname for this is just wrist twist. And wrist twist comes from this false religion of finger legato when the pedal is down. But it has another component which is insidious, and that is that because you cling to the note, you can then feel secure finding the next note, even though it's stressful. You feel like you're able to hang on and navigate tactilely across the keyboard. It's as though I need to go across the room and I'm going to hang on to things as I go. Does it feel secure? From a certain point of view, yes. To a certain frightened, terrified individual, maybe so. But it's not real freedom. And it's not a good way to get around the room. So, that all said, I am going to play here, and I'm just going to let go. Okay, and when I get 2 on this A flat, I don't mind if 2 plays about there. See, my thumb is under right about that much. There's no stress there. What I won't do is this. This is no big deal. And you might want to just go to 5 there, and then 1 there. And again, not clinging and then shrinking up the hand and trying to get that, but... And many will actually need to practice this skill of letting go and being chill. I'm all done. Okay. Notice I even let go if I want to right there. And then a similar passage. That just goes to G. So, and if you need to look at this more, I have a video on grouping and surfacing, which explains all this in even more horrible detail than what I'm saying today. So, you know, if I just get a random student, a young person who's playing this piece, 80% of the time they're going to try to navigate these arpeggios with this wrist twist that I'm talking about. Literally 80% of the time. It's very rare, somewhat unusual, that unless students have been instructed that they kind of naturally come to this way of moving. Most people fall into this wrist twist finger legato trap. And shame on you, teachers, if you have been telling students that they have to hang on to notes between groups when the pedal is down. Shame on you. It isn't true. Please stop. And take the trouble to educate yourself on how this instrument works. And don't pass on things that are destructive. The other day, I had a heartbreaking conversation. A student was interested in coming to study with me, and the student had rather advanced tendinitis from poor teaching, poor habits. Whoever these teachers were had not known what was going on. And now this kid is in bad shape and is missing out on probably months and years of progress because teachers don't know what they're talking about. So anyhow, maybe during this pandemic, if that describes you, now would be a great time to educate yourself on how this works. I have seen life-changing physical injury in young people as a result of ignorant piano teachers. So I'm sorry if I get a little worked up on this, but it's not right. You should give them their money back if you've been charging. Okay, now I'll come down off my soapbox and go on with the music. Okay, so now, remember our beautiful fake booking we were doing? So now I'm here on the second system. And we want to hear this B flat over between, if possible. And it is possible. So, and now we want to hear it. And this is the same phrase structure we had at the beginning, by the way. Sorry, it was, how did it go? It went like this. And start over again. But this time, going on. And now it's going to go on the second time to there. This is just like the first time, and it's going to go on ya ta ta to there, to there, to there, and so on. So let's go back, pick up some of these details. This is an unusual little spot in that we have a doubling of the melody here between the top and the bottom voices. And you know, in Baroque music, this is a total no-no. This is parallel octaves, and it cancels the sense of vocal independence among the lines. But it is a much beloved thing in later Romantic music, and in especially in this impressionistic music. Even Schumann would do it. Would Schubert ever do it? I don't know, maybe. Bach, never. So what's going on is we've gotten used to this idea that there's a melody separate from the bass line. This idea. They're independent. And now suddenly, for those few beats, they're exactly aligned. And I don't know, there's just kind of a magic quality to it. Also, the fact that the rhythm is altered. What's going on here is just hemiola. And what we're expecting is the beat to be every 2 16ths. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Shoot, my battery's low. And now all of a sudden, it's 1 ta 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 ta. Now it's coming at a different value, so it really stands out as an interesting 1 2 3 1 2 3 yada 1 2 3 da 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 da, and then we're back to the other rhythm. So I voice down, I voice here a little bit, bring up that bottom. Let me play it for you. And then back. Okay, now I got to keep going because my iPad battery is in danger. Here the melody is with the up stems. T, ta, ti. Ta, ti, ta, ti, ta. And yes, it says crescendo to there. And because of this beautiful chord, I usually do a subito right here. Some people don't, but I find it very nice and effective. where we're going, da, da, dee, da, ya, da, 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 ya, da, ya, da, 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 da. This is the big moment right here. That's where he's headed. And by the way, remember our little weird duple rhythm? There it is, showing up again. This you'll need to group for the left hand. And again, same issue of grouping and not wrist twisting. Very, very important there. I'm going to keep moving because of this battery. Now, again, we have this issue of repeated material. And at calmato. So we have this measure and this measure are the same. One thing you might do is voice top. And then the inner voice. It could be cool. Notice that's the same as same phrase shape. Okay. Again, repeated phrases here. And do we want to go the second time with the bass? That could be interesting. Let me do it better. Okay. And then what happens next? Yes, here just a couple of remarks. We have a lot of the stuff that's the same, and this long sustained notes here. This is what changes in that measure. So I bring that out just a little, just to show that I'm paying attention. And now we're sensitive to that. So it's okay. So bring out those ones circled in blue, and then of course voice here and here. So big picture, of course, is fake booking, to know it like a song. How would you conduct it? And the other issue is playing these arpeggios in a healthy manner, not falling prey to the wrist twist and finger legato trap. When the pedal is down, there is no advantage in hanging on to any keys. Just let go. Just let go and jump. Go somewhere else. You can't play the piano like this. You can't play the piano like this, but you can play the piano like this. So don't do anything that makes you twist. Next time, in part 3, we'll finish up, and then I'll play it all the way through for you. So be well. Take care. Sorry I went crazy and yelled at everyone. I think I'm losing my mind in the pandemic. Talk to you next time. Ciao.